is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trevette.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. Completes the Star Trek title. The largest in area. American history. Prefixes. You're an animal. And literary pets. All right, let's get back into this. Player 1 has control of the board. Get along, little this. The word for a motherless calf. Player 1? Yeah! Right. Player 1, back to you for our next song. Here's Jimmy with the clue.
The giant panda seen here isn't playing the flute. He's snacking on this, his favorite food.
Let's hear it, Player 1. Woo! Good. Player 1, you pick again, please. Scientists are scrambling to find out the cause of colony collapse disorder, which is occurring with this insect. Let's hear it, Player 1. Woo! Yes. Player 1, you pick again, please. A condor is a type of this bird. It's related to the turkey type and also enjoys eating carrion. Here's the correct response. The vulture. Please pick again, Player 1. The plains variety of this animal has gray markings that are known as shadow stripes. Here's the correct response. The zebra. We return to you, Player 1. Medically speaking, hemo, hema, and hemato all mean this. Yes, Player 1? Yes. Player 1, you pick again, please. Before standard and marine, it means below. Yes, Player 2. That's correct. Player 2, make a selection, please, as we continue. Before biography or graph, it means self. Yes, Player 3? Sorry. Any other takers? It's Player 1. Right. Player 1, you're in command of the board as it puts the fire before technics and mania. Okay, Player 1. That's it. Player 1, choose again. This prefix turns 1 byte of data into about 1 billion. Okay, Player 3. No, sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Let's hear it, Player 1. No. Any other takers? Yes, player 2. Good. Player 2, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? The titled beast of his The Hound of the Baskervilles is actually the pet of Mr. Jack Stapleton. Yes, player 1? Right. Player 1, you start us off. Mexico, United States, Canada. Player 3? Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Any other takers? It's player 1. That's it. Please pick again, player 1. Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. Yes, player 1? Yeah! Good for you. Please pick again, player 1. Saudi Arabia, Oman, Yemen. It's player 1. Yeah! Correct. Player 1, choose again. Spain, Germany, France. Let's hear it, player 2. No. Any other takers? Let's hear it, player 1. Oh, sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? It's player 3. Yep. Player 3, where do we start? Libya, Egypt, Tunisia. Let's hear it, player 2. That's correct. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 2, you make the next selection as we... This famous transaction in 1803 doubled the territory of the U.S. Okay, player 1. That is correct. Player 1, make a selection, please, as we... In the 1760s, he and Charles Mason used milestones to mark the boundary line between Maryland and Pennsylvania. Here's the correct response. Jeremiah Dixon. Player 1, pick again. Answer, it's the Daily Double. And you have the lead. How much? Okay, here is the clue. The Watergate scandal led to the resignation of this U.S. president in 1974. That puts you even further ahead. You get to pick again, player 1. In the 1830s, some 4,000 members of this Indian tribe died during a forced march known as the Trail of Tears. Yes, player 2.
Aww.
Nope. Any other takers? Okay, player 3. No. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Player 1? Yeah! Good. Player 1, choose again. Reconstruction refers to the period of readjustment and rebuilding after this war. Yes, player 2.
Yeah!
Good. Where do we begin, player 2? where no man has done this. Player 1? That's it. Player 1, where do we start? The trouble with these creatures. Yes, Player 1? Oh! Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? It's Player 2. Good for you. Player 2, make a selection, please, as we continue. Harry Potter uses his snowy owl named this to transfer messages. Player 2. Correct. Player 2, pick again. Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings' The Yearling centers on this type of pet. Here's the response we were looking for. A deer. We return to you, Player 2. Little Swan, Little Bear, and Greenfinch are some of the goats of this Johanna Spiri lass. Here's what we wanted. Heidi. You get to pick again, Player 2. A poetic Elliot feline who has lived many lives in succession is named for this fifth book of the Old Testament. The correct response is Deuteronomy. Please pick again, Player 2. Muds these. Here's the correct response. Women. Select again. The city on the edge of this. Yes, Player 1? Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else? It's Player 2. That's correct. And here's the $1,000 clue. The Corbomite this. Yes, Player 2. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else? Here's the response we were looking for. Maneuver. Player 3 is in third place, which means, of course, Player 3 will select first in Double Jeopardy. Clues are worth $400 to $2,000 in these categories. Science Guys. Books of the Month. NBA Nicknames. Orange You Glad. Around the World. And Historic Names. Player 3, you're in command of the board as we continue. His grandfather, Erasmus, argued in favor of evolution 60 years before he took up the cause himself. Let's hear it, Player 1. That is correct. Player 1, you start us off. Infamous herbicide of 1960s wartime Indochina. Let's hear it, Player 2. Oh, sorry. Anyone else? Okay, player one.
Yeah!
Good. Prominent among Protestants in Northern Ireland, the Orange Order was formed in 1795 to honor this monarch. Yes, player two. Right. Where do we begin, player two? Dystopian Anthony Burgess novel of punks and pathology. Yes, player three? That is correct.
Yeah! Woo!
Player three, start us. In 1920, he was named Director of the Institute of Theoretical Physics in Copenhagen. Yes, player two. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player three? No. Sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? It's player one. That's correct. All right, let's get back into this. Player one has control. Pistol Pete. Here's the correct response. Pete Maravich. You again, player one. MJ. Yes, player one? Yes. Please pick again, player one. Sir Charles. Okay, player one? Correct. Please pick again, player one. Mr. Clutch. It's player two. No, that's not right. Anyone else? Here's what we wanted. Jerry West. Player one, choose again. Hondo. Here's the response we were looking for. John Havlicek. Player one, pick again. Nickname of the Denver Broncos defense. It's player three.
Yeah!
Yes, great, you're back into it now. All right, let's get back into this. Player three has control. Sherlock Holmes solves a mystery involving the Ku Klux Klan and sailing ships in the case of the 5 These. Here's the correct response. Orange Pips. Select again. In 1994, Jordan signed a peace treaty with this country, ending the official state of war between them. Yes, player one? No, sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? The correct response is Israel. Player three, choose again. In 1903, Panama declared its independence from this country. Let's hear it, player three. Sorry. Anyone else? It's player 2. Correct. Player 2, you start. Let's get Sarah's assistance on this clue.
Forgotten for centuries, this Incan royal retreat was rediscovered by Hiram Bingham in 1911.
Player 2. Nope. Sorry. Anyone else? It's player 1. That's it. Player 1, make a selection, please, as we continue. The principalities of Moldavia and Wallachia were joined together to form this country in the 19th century. We're talking about Romania. Player 1, back to you. Answer. One of the daily double. You are in first place. Please enter your wager. Okay, here is the clue. The capital of this Pacific Island kingdom is Nuku'alofa. However, you keep your lead. Here's the response we were looking for. Tonga. You get to pick again, player 1. This German physicist won a 1918 Nobel Prize for his quantum theory. Yes, player 3? Hey, you're right. Hey, you're on the plus side. Player 3, start us. Until his death in 1907, this chemist headed the Weights and Measures Bureau in St. Petersburg, Russia. Player 2. Correct. Player 2, start us. In 1855, Napoleon III swung a deal, arranging for this man's appointment as physicist at the Paris Observatory. It's player 3. Good for you. Player 3, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? By James Patterson and Maxine Petro. 4th of blank. Yes, player 3?
Yeah!
Yes. You again, player 3. By the New York Times, 4 days in blank, the original coverage of the John F. Kennedy assassination. Here's the correct response. November. You get to pick again, player 3. In 1955, Ngo Dinh Diem became the first president of this country that no longer exists. Yes, player 1? That's not right. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 2. No. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Okay, player 3. Good. We return to you, player 3. This Apache tried to keep peace with the Palefaces, but after his death, his son joined with the militant Geronimo. Here's what we were looking for. Cochise. Player 3, back to you. Answer. The second daily double. You're in second now, but with an opportunity to catch up a bit. Decide on your... Okay, here is the clue. By Barbara Tuchman. The Guns of Blank. The lead is also yours. Player 3, you pick again, please. In 312, emboldened by the sight of a cross in the sky, this man defeated the Emperor Maxentius and seized Rome. Here's the response we were looking for. Constantine. You get to pick again, Player 3. Margaret Roper, who died in 1544, is said to have been buried with the head of this Utopia author, her father. Okay, Player 3. Yes. You again, Player 3. From Anais Nin's diaries, Henry and Blank. Yes, Player 3? That's correct. Player 3, back to you for our next selection. By Homer Hickam, Rocket Boys, also published as Blank Sky. Okay, Player 2.
Yeah!
You are correct. And the $2,000 clue? Vienna's Imperial Palace is now home to the president. In Mozart's time, it was home to the head of state, this Archduchess. Here's what we wanted. Maria Teresa. Congratulations to all of you. You'll be continuing on to Final Jeopardy when we come back. We're back. The category for Final Jeopardy today is 16th century names. Please enter your wager. Here's your Final Jeopardy clue. Paul III roared at him, "I have waited 30 years for your services. Now I'm Pope. Can't I satisfy my desire?" Your response? And that will lose you. What did you say? And that will lose you. What did you say? And this correct response will add how much to your score? This makes you our new champion, Player 3, so congratulations. Thanks for playing, everybody. See you next time.